Hi students, welcome to second year accountancy class. In our previous class, we have discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of diminishing balance method. So in this, we are going to discuss a very important concept, the comparison or say the differences between straight line method, that is fixed installment method, and diminishing balance method. So don't get confused with the names. Every method has got three names. Fixed installment method is also known as straight line method. SLM I have written here. So SLM stands for straight line method. This DBM stands for diminishing balance method. Okay. So, already you know that under fixed installment method, the annual depreciation is calculated on the original cost of the asset. So, straight away the formula is cost value of the asset into rate by 100 remains same all over the years of the lifetime of the asset. If rate of depreciation is not given in the question, what do they give? Cost value, scrap value and estimated life of the asset. So, when cost value, scrap value and estimated life of the asset is given under straight line method, depreciation is calculated like this: cost value minus scrap value by life of the asset. Okay. So that's what I have written the first point. If you know the formula, you can understand the first point, the meaning. In this, cost of the asset is spread uniformly over the life years. Life years means estimated life of the asset. Say it is 10 years. And we have purchased an asset for 1 lakh rupees. So this 1 lakh rupees is spread throughout the 10 years in a uniform manner. The very first day while introducing this, I have given you the example that if the asset is purchased for 1 lakh rupees, okay, first year depreciation say 10,000, 10%, second year also 10,000, third year also 10,000, like that it is written for 10 years. So 10 into 10, 1 lakh rupees. So the cost of the asset is spread uniformly throughout the lifetime of the asset. The amount of depreciation does not change in case of straight line method. That is the meaning of the first point. In this, cost of the asset is spread uniformly over the life years. Means if the asset is working for 10 years, every year we take 10,000. If the asset is working for 5 years, every year we take 20,000 each. So 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 like that. Okay. Next, under diminishing balance method, we calculate at fixed rate of depreciation, but on the book value of the asset. Try to understand here. Here, rate of depreciation is fixed, but book value of the asset keeps on changing. Like we have discussed earlier, in first year if the book value is 1 lakh, depreciation is 10,000. Next year book value becomes 90,000. So depreciation becomes 9,000. Next year's it will become 8,100. Depreciation becomes 8,100. This is called book value or written down value. How do we get the book value or written down value? Cost of the asset minus depreciation. This is the cost of the asset, 1 lakh minus depreciation, 90,000, on which we calculate. Rate is fixed one, 10%. Every year we are taking same 10%. Clear? So that's what I have written here. Fixed rate of depreciation is charged on the book value of the asset over its useful life. जितने साल चले तो उतने साल अपन कैलकुलेट करते जाना. Calculation. How do we calculate? See, on the original cost of the asset. Okay. 1 lakh is there, 1 lakh at 10% or this method. If you are given rate, we take cost value into rate by 100. If rate is not given, this is the formula. Cost value into rate by 100 is the formula under straight line method, or this one. Okay, according to the availability of the information. In the question, if the examiner provides you the rate and cost value, we calculate the depreciation by using the first formula, cost value into rate by 100. If rate is not given, the examiner will provide you cost value, scrap value and estimated life of the asset. So, we will be calculating depreciation using that formula. So, that is the calculation part given. Here, we calculate on the written down value of the asset. You can see here. This is called, first one is called cost value, second one is written down value, this is also written down value or book value. So, that is how we are calculating. Next, annual depreciation charge. Okay, that means amount of depreciation whatever we are charging, it remains same. Like this straight line method if you are following, if you are calculating first year 10,000, it remains same all over the years. Already we have learnt in the previous classes. But whereas in diminishing balance method, it reduces. You can observe here. First year 10,000, next year 9,000, third year 8,100. So, that is what I have mentioned here. It reduces every year. Next, amount of depreciation. So, it will be initially lower, but in case of diminishing balance method, initially it will be higher. You can see here. Starting years, amount of depreciation will be high. Next, later years, at the slack years, as the asset value decreases, amount of depreciation will be less. So, initial years it will be higher. Next, impact on profit and loss account. What do you mean by impact on profit and loss account? That means the amount what we debit to P&L account while calculating the net profit or loss of the business organization. So, that is called impact on profit and loss account. Whenever we are following fixed installment method, the impact will be high. Why it is high? As you know that in the profit and loss account, we write both to depreciation as well as to repairs. So, when you are calculating depreciation as per straight line method, this depreciation remains constant, but repairs will be gradually increasing. As in my previous class I told you, as the machine becomes old, you need to put more repairs and maintenance cost. That is quite naturally for your mobiles or say for your bikes, your cars also you can experience that. So, as the machinery, your asset becomes old, you need to put lot of maintenance cost. So, when repairs gradually increase year by year, in the initial stages, repairs will be less, but depreciation remains constant, 10,000 remains 10,000. But as the years pass on, depreciation remains same, but repairs cost will increase. So, this plus this impact will increase as the time passes on. But in case of diminishing balance method, even though the repairs increase, depreciation decreases. So, it will be same. When you use diminishing balance method, impact on profit and loss account remains same because though repairs increases, depreciation decreases. But in case of straight line method, we do not have that possibility because we write the depreciation constant and the repairs cost will increase. So, depreciation plus repairs, this impact will increase gradually over the number of years. As the time passes on, repairs cost will increase, that will have a increasing trend impact on the P&L account. But whereas in diminishing balance method, because the depreciation decreases, though the repairs cost increase, clubbed together, it will remain constant. Next, preference. For which assets straight line method is preferable? For which assets diminishing balance method is preferable? That means according to the nature of the assets, we have to apply the method. Straight line method is applied where repairs costs are negligible, means there are no repairs at all, even the repairs are there, they are very minimum. In such cases, we apply the straight line method. Like generally, for example, intangible assets like lease, copyrights, trademarks, for these assets, you need not spend any repairs cost. There will be no maintenance cost. So, in such a case, we can apply straight line method. Clear? So, straight line method is preferable for lease. I hope all of you understand the meaning of lease. What is a lease? When a particular asset is taken for usage by paying the lump sum amount for a particular duration of time. The other day I have given you the example. Say this building, we want to run a junior college in this building. This is not our own. So what we can do, if this is taken on lease basis, we can approach the owner of this building. We can request him that, sir, we use this premises for a period of 10 years and we will pay you a sum of 10 lakhs rupees. So you give 10 lakhs rupees to this building owner and use this business premises, this college premises for 10 years. You can run a junior college, degree college or computer education institution, whatever it may be. Clear? So now you are authorized, this property comes to you for 10 years time period, it is your asset because you have paid the lease amount. So how come the lease comes into existence? It is the agreement between the lessor and lessee. Okay, you need to understand the terms. In graduation you will have this. Okay, so the person who leases out the property is called as the lessor and the person who takes is called as lessee. So there is an agreement between these two people, then we take the property. Now in this case there will be no repairs cost, no maintenance cost. Initially we write down the agreement that what amount we are going to pay. At the end of what time period we are going to vacate this, or if you want to renew the lease, what percentage of increment should be there, that all we discuss and we write down the agreement. So such repairs and maintenance cost will not be there. For trademarks, patents, copyrights, for all these intangible assets, we need not go for repairs cost. So in such a case, we can apply straight line method. Diminishing balance method is applied where your repairs cost may increase as the time passes on. Example, for motor vehicles, for machinery and technology, tools. So as the time passes on, they may undergo various repairs and the firm, the business organization may need to have spent more amount on repairs and maintenance. In such a case, we apply diminishing balance method. So diminishing balance method is preferred, is suitable for motor vehicles, machinery, etc., whose repairs increases as they get old. Then recognition means whether it is recognized by the law or not. Recognition means where the approval, authorities do recognize or not. Remember, straight line method is not accepted by income tax department. For internal management, you may follow straight line method for your own purpose. But when you want to submit your reports to the government authorities for tax assessment, income tax department does not recognize straight line method. You have to apply diminishing balance method and various other methods, and the rates also will be different. That you will learn in income tax graduation. Okay, second year in BCom second year you will have a subject called income tax. In that you will learn about depreciation chapter. So you will have different rates. You cannot provide the same rate of depreciation on all assets. Machineries are depreciated at 20%, furniture is at 15%, buildings at 5%, like that. Different rates are there that will be changing year by year according to the government policy. So depreciation rates are fixed by the IT authorities. So straight line method is not recognized by income tax department, whereas diminishing balance method is recognized. Next, balance of the asset account means after preparation of the ledger, when you prepare an asset account, as already you might have done, according to straight line method, you can bring it to zero. That means continuously you go on providing depreciation for the lifetime of the asset. In the last year, you can bring down the asset value to zero, but under diminishing balance method, as you go on providing the depreciation using the written down value of the asset, at any cost, the asset value does not become zero. So these are the differences between straight line method and diminishing balance method. So this is the theory part of depreciation chapter now. According to COVID and some of the portion may be deleted or paper pattern is maybe changed. So due to which you have to focus on theoretical concept also. That's why I am taking up the theory part of this accountancy in every chapter. So this is our first chapter, depreciation. Here we have discussed about need for depreciation, causes of depreciation, clear. Then straight line method, advantages, disadvantages, diminishing balance method, advantages and disadvantages. Then now we are giving the differences between straight line method and diminishing balance method. So next we will go to the next chapter.